And we are back here with another video today. Today we look at the Arizona Wildcats and Brett Brennan and Noah Fafita's squad here in the Arizona Wildcats, going 9-4 last year after a rough year one under Brennan. We'll see if he's able to take this team to new triumphs and even further heights than 9-4. We'll see as we look at today's video. My name is Reikley Ruby, and welcome to the Football Expert. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. It's 100% free. It just lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content. I'm trying to get to 6,500 subscribers by the end of June, about 130 away. So help me reach that goal by hitting that subscribe button down below. Like the video if you enjoy it. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. I'm here to build a community of football fanatics that enjoy and love the sport. So comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Let's have a discussion. Why do you think Arizona is going to do this or that? Do you think I'm wrong in my prediction? Do you think I'm right in my prediction? Let me know your thoughts down below as we get into the Arizona Wildcats and their 2026 season. Arizona, like I said, Brennan 13-12, his overall record at Arizona after spending a few years at San Jose State, building up a program that was just down in the dumps, but really doing a magnificent job there and seems to be on the same trajectory with Arizona here. First game of the year is against Northern Arizona, the Lumberjacks out there. And, well, this is an easy win. This is no problem. As for that, I don't think that there will be any issues in this game. FCS program, not even a very good FCS program. Easy win for the Wildcats. Then a road game in week 2, one of the most important games in the season. It's a road game in week 2 at BYU. And, well, that's just a tough place to play. Not only is it a tough place and environment, but it is also a tough spot in the schedule, I should say, because, well, week 2, that's just like, here's the thing. Looking at the running back position, and we see a lot of good things in the running back position, at least you lose your main running back from last year, and Islam Maidin, who had about 900 yards last year, 4 touchdowns, average 6 yards a carry. After that, you have some pieces that are there, but are they going to be up to snuff? Fafita obviously going to be the primary part of that passing attack. But right now, I just see this as a bit of an issue. So I have the Cougars winning this game. Honestly, if it was at Arizona, I'd maybe have a little bit more lean towards Arizona. But I think BYU is a little bit better of a team, especially defensively. I think that there's some struggles there at linebacking and at defensive back. That back 7 for Arizona, I'm not 100% sure what I think on it, especially like most of the big linebackers that were there, other than Tay Brown coming back, the top like 8 tacklers from last season are gone. So you got a lot of production to replace if you're Arizona and you're Brennan at head coach. So I have this as a loss. Then a home game for the newest Mountain West member in Northern Illinois, or at least one of the new ones, along with North Dakota State. I have this as a win. I don't think Northern Illinois is a very good team. I think they're in a transition year. They have a lot of work to do if they want to become competitive in the Mountain West, much less against a Power 4 team like Arizona. Easy win there. Then a road game against Washington State, one of those weird kind of, is the Pac-12 still a Power 5 conference? Is it just Power 4 in group of 6? I personally think that the Pac-12 is a group of 5, group of 6 now type of feel more than it is Power 4. So I think that there is a pretty big talent gap between Washington State and Arizona. And Washington State has lost a lot of their head coaches as of recently. This seems to be becoming a bit of a pattern for a team like Washington State, which is a bit of an issue. You don't want to be losing your head coach every single offseason. As this offseason, the new head coach, Kirby Moore, is the new head guy there. Previously was a wide receiver at Boise State, but has had no head coaching experience whatsoever. So there could be some issues there in only week 4. Then a home game against Cincinnati. I see this as a win. I don't think that there's going to be too many issues for Arizona. Personally, don't get me wrong, Scott Satterfield was way better than I expected last year. I'm not very high on Satterfield. I think that his run at Louisville kind of got bailed out with getting the Cincinnati job, and it was a lateral move, but it looked like he tried to act like it was a promotion, and it just wasn't. So yeah. So he's at Cincinnati, but I just don't see it continuing. I think Sorsby was a one-off thing that had less to do with Satterfield and more to do with Sorsby just being a really good player at the right time and Satterfield getting lucky with one quarterback that made him look good rather than actually being a good head coach. So a win there for the Wildcats. Then a road game all the way across the country, but still in the same conference against West Virginia. I do have this as a win. I think that this West Virginia squad has a lot to work on when it comes to not only offensively, defensively. Like, this whole team has a lot of issues just overall. So I think that if West Virginia is going to be able to come out the other end and be a competitive program week in and week out, then I think that West Virginia has a lot of work to do on their end, with Rich Rodriguez now in his second year back at West Virginia after last year going 4-8. So I think Rich Rodriguez is the right hire, but you had almost all of your starters leave last year. This is a team that got almost entirely poached. I think there was 0 starters from last season back on this defense, which is almost impressive. But yeah, the defense especially, we'll see what West Virginia is. I think they're a big wild card and could possibly win a game that they're not supposed to, but also could very much lose a lot of the games like that. Then a bye week and then playing Iowa State. This is not the same Iowa State team that has been in the Big 12 for the past few seasons. This is a Iowa State team without Matt Campbell, without Rocco Beck at quarterback. And honestly, I got to see what this situation looks like there in Ames, Iowa, before I come to any conclusions that they're beating a team of the caliber of the Wildcats. So a win there. Then a road game. This kind of builds up one of the big last games of the season. Obviously, still Utah to come. But if you're going to make the college football playoffs, if you're going to make the Big 12 championship, you don't want to leave any doubt. As a Notre Dame fan, I know that. You don't want to leave any doubt. And if you get to pick up not only a second loss overall, but a second loss in conference, that really diminishes your chances of being able to make the championship game. You would need tiebreakers to probably go your way. And losing to BYU and Texas Tech does not help those tiebreakers. So I do have this as a loss. This game is in Lubbock. If it was in Arizona, if it was in Tucson, I'd have a lot more of possibly an upset type of feel to this game. But right now, the Texas Tech defense, I think, is going to be good enough. And it looks like Sorsby's going to play. If Sorsby wasn't playing, I'd maybe be willing to give Arizona the benefit of the doubt that their offense would be a little too dynamic for Texas Tech's defense, where the offense for Texas Tech last year was just, well, it scored 0 points against Oregon in the playoffs. It really wasn't a good offense, and it kind of got exposed in the playoffs for just being really one-dimensional as a team, not only on the offense, but just not having a great defense. Absolutely fantastic defense. Still only let up 23 points, and 23 points should win you most games in college football, even in the playoffs, or at least come pretty close. And it just didn't. So I have this as a loss, but I do think that if Arizona can get in a shootout with this team, if the offense can keep clicking, I think it does give the advantage to the Wildcats over the Red Raiders. Then a home game against TCU. I think that this is a bounce back game. Sonny Dykes in his, I think, 5th season, maybe it's 4th or 5th season at TCU, has done a tremendous job with that program. Also went 9-4 last year. A bounce back season after a couple of bad years after the national championship run and Garrett Riley leaving and Max Duggan and all that. So I think that this is a win, but this is going to be a very close game. It could be a letdown game if they do lose a heartbreaker in Lubbock. So don't be surprised if there's a letdown game like this. Then a home game against Utah. I have this as a win. Personally, it's just because I'm not 100% sure on Utah, on the whole situation there in Salt Lake. I do like Utah and I do like the situation that they are in. But I am a little more hesitant. Like Phil Steele has them as the third best team in the conference. And don't get me wrong, Morgan Saley, who is the former defensive coordinator there in Utah, is a good hire in a good spot. The problem is I just don't know what he looks like as a head coach. I don't know what the offense looks like. And there's just a lot of question marks that I'm like, Utah, I felt like took 7 years to get over Cam Rising, and they kind of really did. But so I would just be a little concerned about what the offense looks like. It may be great, it may be, but I'm just not super confident. There's a lot of new head coaches in the Big 12, and I'm really favoring these older. I say older guys like Brett Brennan, who's been a head coach for 10 years and has been in that job and been in that situation, and a guy like Joey McGuire and a guy like Dave Aranda and a guy like Kalani Sitake. So I just think that those are the best head coaches, and I think that matters more in this era of college football than it did in previous years. Then a road game against Kansas State, against the other Wildcats in the Big 12. I have this as a win. I think Colin Klein was a good hire at Kansas State. But personally, I think Dylan Edwards and the run game will be pretty good this year. But I think that the defense, I don't know where the defense is going to be for the Wildcats, for Kansas State, I should say more specifically. So we'll see what happens there. And then finally, to close out the season, I do think that Arizona is able to beat their rivals in Arizona State in that final game of the season, just like they did last year. I think that they are the better team, honestly, in that Arizona over Arizona State. So I think that they'll be able to get another win. So as always, make sure you hit one of the 2 videos down below. Will be a podcast of all my college football predictions. This is number 30, guys. Number 30. We're on our way. And hit the subscribe button up here. Help me reach my goal, 6,500 subscribers. And as always, hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.